Hello, welcome to Senior's Last Word. It's Monday and what an action-packed weekend. The knockout stages, the round of 16 are off and already we know Switzerland, Germany, England and Spain have made their way into the quarterfinals of Euro 2024. This is Senior's Last Word. I'm Aldrin Suga Senior. Welcome. What a fest of football we had. The only surprise there, perhaps Italy, the reigning champions, are out. And you all think, should they have moved on in this competition? I don't think so. I think Switzerland's were definitely well worth their win. Just like they did at 2020, they shocked a previous winner. And they've now claimed the scalp of Italy. But tunuulira omupiira nga bwe gwabadde ogwa Italy ne Switzerland. Italy terina kyegamba. Switzerland yabadde mu control from start to finish. Comfortable really. Nothing to lose. And the two goals they scored, great goals. The pick out from that game, Switzerland-Italy, yabadde a goal of Switzerland zeyateebye. Italy tetera conceding goal bwe zityo. You could say ekisenge kyabadde kigule bw'otulira ku defensive organization mu mbeera ebbiri obatebedde goolo obeera shocked. Tumanyidde nnyo Catanaccio ey'Abayitale ninga engeri bano abaana gye bakozeemu eggoolo ezo yabadde kwewunyisa. But overall really Italy in this tournament haven't looked like the champions they've been. They just didn't look good enough to compete. I think they stopped at the level where they should have stopped. Switzerland though is a team that is improving every other 4 years, not just at the Euros but also at the World Cup. It is actually turning out to be the European dark horse. Kuba buli muntu, they are very well organized. Oli gwe bazannya tamanya bagenda kuzannya kutya, but the confidence with which they play, the football they play, because they're technically good, supreme organization, very, very comfortable with their system, and they just do not fear their opposition. Switzerland are in because they deserve to be in. In fact, for me, the team whom they play next, and that should be England if I'm not mistaken, had better be very, very wary. Switzerland loves to play European opposition. But Italy are out. Let's forget about them. We continue. They didn't deserve to go ahead. And straight away we go to Germany. You would have thought that Denmark was going to put up some resistance. And they had for some time. But then Germany, spurred on by a partisan home crowd, they seem to be in the mood. They're the highest scoring team, by the way, at the tournament. Those 2 goals meant that they've now scored 10 goals. Nobody gets anywhere close. And my word, Musiala now the top scorer at the tournament with 3 goals. Wasn't really all over the game. He didn't control that much. He wasn't the key man yesterday or over the weekend. He wasn't. But a player like him, with the tournament he's having, yes, he'll be controlled for some time. He'll be put in check for some time, like the Danish had come tactically. But then again, when he got his chance for that goal, that sealed it off. Wow, that was Musiala. And for me, a team at these Euros that have a player as outstanding as Musiala, I think has a chance to win it. But the Germans really are playing very good football. They are comfortable. They change it when they have to. Against Denmark, when things seemed tight and it seemed like Denmark really wanted to be in, they made that change and they brought that traditional centre forward who already has now 2 goals, and they sort of just flipped it up a bit and they started applying the long balls and a bit of physicality, and in the end they are comfortable 2-0 winners. Not surprises there because they are a home team. They're the home team and they are playing, having a good tournament, and they're in there because they deserve to. We straight away go to England. They suffered, they struggled. No surprises again. But again, Jude Bellingham, this guy, Jude Bellingham, no doubt at the moment, the best European player out there. He's showing it in and out. Not only is he superior in terms of technical quality, but his work rate, the desire he shows and exhibits. Until England scored for 90 games, he was the only English player that showed or was showing interest in the result of this game. He was everywhere, looking for that ball, urging his teammates on, urging the fans on, almost saying, guys, if you're not going to do it, I will do it. He was leading by example. This young guy has really come in leaps and bounds, and that acrobatic for the equalizer well, it will go down as one of the goals of the night. Well, why? Because of the stage. It was a knockout, last round of 16. England were going out to attempt that kind of audacious kick. It did pair off, kept England in, of course, before Harry Kane's winner there early in the second half of extra time. Harry Kane scoring his second goal at the tournament, Jude Bellingham scoring his second goal at the tournament. I've said before in this video that these players, Bellingham, Kane, I mentioned Foden, they were being let down, still being let down by the entire team because not enough is being created. The game and the expansiveness of England thus far is not allowing them to be as prolific and as effective as we know they can be. And yesterday, really, it was individual brilliance. It wasn't so much about England last night. It was individual brilliance. I thought Slovakia made a mistake. From the first 25 minutes, they showed that they can take the game to England and dominate it and even score. They should have continued that way. Unfortunately, when they got their goal, as the game went on, they actually got back and sat back. They allowed England to do the pressing, to do the pursuit, and in the end, with the quality that England has, maybe, and it did happen, eventually the quality shown and the equalizer came through, and then before they know it, the winner. England in the end winning 2-1, justifiably Bellingham being the guy who turned things around for them and who will argue with Kane coming up with the goods when it mattered most. But still very, very flattering. That is England. And I still think something is going to happen disastrous to them as we go on. And then, of course, Spain in the final game of the weekend. Spain, these guys, this is the Spain of old. Perhaps still not really hiding and keeping it as the previous Spanish teams, but in the current teams at the Euros, nobody is doing better than them. The speed, the technique, the skill set, the individual brilliance. They have about 5 players in there who could win any game at the tournament on their own. Nico Williams, wow. Pedro. I mean, you could name players in the Spanish team who can take on anyone and make whatever difference they can. For me, they are the team to beat, really. By the time they scored their second goal, you knew they are going to win by 4 or even 5 as the game went on. But the difference that Spain has brought to Euro 2024, they are the only teams among the so-called favorites or big teams that are coming with pedigree, with reputation, with the quality that we know they can, going out there and delivering as expected. It's not a team of youngsters really, but the youngsters are really influential and very impactful in this team. They are matched up between 24, 25, 26, 27, 8-year-olds. And then the 19, 20-year-olds, of course, they're bringing the skill set that is required to break up stubborn teams. And in the end, Spain deservedly going through. But then this is the problem with competitions of this nature. You always hear teams wanting to be group leaders, group leaders, group leaders. You feel when you're a group leader, you are going to face a weaker team at the next round. I always say, if you want to be champion in tournaments like this, it doesn't matter who you meet in the next stage. Because as I speak now, Germany will face Spain in the quarterfinals. 2 of the favorites. How does it come like that? They both led their groups. They didn't know who they are meeting, but the result has brought them together. Will it be German or Spain? I'll tell you about that in my next prediction. But for now, it is Switzerland, Germany, Spain, England into the quarterfinals. The only surprise is Italy, but deservedly so because they didn't deserve to go forward. The one that almost went out was England, but they did find that knack that it takes for quality players. And at the end of the day, it's there. We need now to look at the next 4 teams that are going to add them. It is Aldrin Sugar Senior at Senior's Last Word with you talking knockout stage. It's the last round of 16. Goodbye.